is it going? How are we doing? Hi! I'm alive, I think. Yeah. How is everyone doing? I missed you guys. I have missed you all. Yeah. I hope you're well. I hope you feel better than I do. Oh no. Yeah, yesterday was absolutely terrible. I'm sorry. I tried, okay? I tried, but I was hanging here like half dead. Like, seriously, it's not even funny. It's not even pretending. It's like, literally, I was half dead here. I hope that's fine. I hope you're better than I do. Yeah. I'm mad about this. I hate getting sick. I hate it. Because I feel so useless in that moment. I swear, I wanted to do so much, and exactly when I have the motivation, I have the will, I have the plan to change something about my life, I get sick. Ah! It's nearly like someone up there doesn't want me to change things. Like, seriously, it's nearly like this. I don't know how else to tell this. But at least I'm here. I made it. I accomplished something. I managed to get out of bed. I managed to get out of bed and sit here. Hopefully entertaining you. Yeah. How was the weekend for you guys? For me, it was kinda alright. I spent nearly like half the Saturday with Foxy and Zoe trying to beat Monster Hunter. No chance. Someone always died. Yeah. Someone always died, just like me. No, in all seriousness, we will continue that thing at one point. Promised. I will beat that Omega thingy at one point. You can believe that. Yes. But apart from that, I didn't manage much. Yesterday I spent basically half dead sitting in my chair. I couldn't lay down because I would get a headache the moment I lay down. It's like cursed. Completely cursed, I tell you. But hey, at least I can do something here. At least I can sit here, yapping, like it's the chaos in my head. It's literally responding. Like not even jokingly. Speaking of chaos, I don't know how many of you are into that gaming sphere of Total War. The Total War games are some of my favorite games of all time. I freaking love them. But holy hell did they mess up. The one main game from them that I currently like to play is basically unplayable at the moment. Because half the factions don't work. The AI is simply broken to the point that nothing works, and the devs or the company behind it is incapable of communicating properly, or at all, to be exact. Like nothing. Not a single response. The entire game gets flooded with bad publicity and bad reviews on Steam at the moment, simply because people are mad. Justified mad. And yeah, that it's a little lame. It's a little meh. Not gonna lie. The thing is, they already, one of the devs, after hours, after he already finished work for the day, in his free time, answered to a separate third-party forum, yeah, a third-party thing, chat room basically. He messaged there, he answered there, and say they are aware of the problem, they are working on it, they are just not sure if they have the capabilities of pushing out a hot fix without delaying the coming DLC even further. Which is ridiculous. Only shows how little they care. Not the devs, but the company. They simply don't give them enough resources to deal with this stuff. Ridiculous, considering that this is the main game at the moment. The one game that brings them money. The one game that holds them away from going into minus. It's ridiculous. What the hell is wrong with big companies? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand. It makes me sad seeing that game. And I talk about Warhammer 3, just so you know. It makes me sad to see that game in this state and the community so aggressively mad. And the only response we get is from one single dev after hours outside of his work on a third-party platform. Like, what? Not even something official, not anything from their Twitter, Discord or whatever. It's just Total War Center? Is it called? The site? Which is from fans, for fans of the franchise. Like, what? I don't get it. I cannot even find words to justify it in any way because it's not justifiable, sadly. And the thing is, it's not even like the game is dead. Peak hours, this thing has 30,000 players at the same time. And they treat it like it's garbage. Like it's not important. Like the community is not important. And I think that's the main issue. I think the big issue is simply the higher ups in that company in Creative Assembly are bullshit and incapable of doing their job. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with Creative Assembly, but they do this for years now. They throw out a game, hold on to it for a while, see that it's shit, and then abandon it in a completely broken state. And go to the next one. And they did this for years now. And with Warhammer, they finally had something where people were actually after. Hi, Gamey, midnight streaming. Oh, right, it's midnight for you, right? Damn, I hope you have a good night there. I hope the day was good to you as well. I'm rambling at the moment. I'm yapping. Yapping about the very poor state of one of my favorite games. Because big company decides to be stupid. Yeah. I mean it's an endless cycle. They do this for so long. And I myself are like, yeah, I hold on. My melatonin an hour ago was about to listen to some ASMR before sleeping. Oh, I'm not good at ASMR, I tell you. No, it's the thing is I'm not that clear at the moment. I barely made it out of bed. And I only made it out of bed because if I would have laid down even longer, I would have had a headache the entire day. So I decided I have to get up to prevent that. I feel really not well, but that's outside of the important stuff, I guess. Yeah. How are you doing? How is it going? I hope you are all fine so far. Because there's a lot going on. It's nice enough, even without the usual expectations of ASMR. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you. I like to hear that. I find it funny because, I mean, obviously I hear my own voice very different. Me when I only play games I enjoy. The thing is, I enjoy the game, which is the main reason why I am mad that the game is broken at the moment. You have a small selection of games. Wait, how big is my library? On Steam only? 346 games. I have another, I think, 30 on GOG. I have around 40 on EA games. I have around 200 on Epic Games. And I have 800 on CD in my freaking shelf here behind me. And I don't count the games for my consoles. Yeah? I don't count the Xbox 360 games. I don't count the original Xbox games, the PlayStation 2 games, the PlayStation 1 games, the Switch games, Nintendo Y, Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, NES, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy DS, Game Boy 3DS, PSP, and a few smaller additional ones from separate sites. If you had a sleepover, I already know I'd be the best gaming session ever. I used to have sleepovers. I used to, back in school times, you can basically say I maybe didn't have the best parents, but what they tried to make up with it, with spending money. Yeah, they had no idea what to do with me, especially since I'm very night active. Yeah, means I have the tendency of being hyper sleepy during the day, and the later into the night it gets, the more awake I become. I have ADHD. I was hyperactive of Doom as a child, more than now. And I only had downloaded and started using Steam around June or July of summer for me. So I don't own... I'm on Steam for over 15 years now. I have that for a while. No, but the point is, my parents couldn't really handle me well, didn't really had any idea what to do with me, and didn't have much time either because they both had to work. So what they did was simply throw money at me. I had enough toys. I probably were the undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure it had. I'm not diagnosed, but it's... Looking back at everything from my childhood and also my teens and everything that I went through lately and all that stuff, it's so 100% sure. It's like, yes, the officials are not there, but it's like, yeah. Sure, self-diagnosed is not good. It's not reasonable, it's not sure, but I'm really goddamn sure that I have it. Because in all honesty, I have everything and it fits way too well. Also, it would explain way too much about my childhood. No, but as a result, I had so many toys. I had more toys than, like, the entire rest of my class, yeah? For myself. And I also, of course, had games. Lots of games. I remember the PlayStation, all consoles up to the Xbox 360 and the Switch were all bought by my family. The Xbox 360 was the actual first console that I bought myself with my own money. And I went all out with that stuff. And went simply like, hey, Dad, I want that console. By the way, the TV that I have is not capable of handling this console. Also, I want a sound system along with it. So I went to the local store. I got me the 360 along with 6 games. Hi, Twee. Along with 6 games, 2 controllers, and everything. Got me a complete surround system and a new flat screen TV, which was rare back then. How rich is your family? Do you own every single gaming device in the world? No. The thing is, my family is not rich. She's just big. Yeah. It's just like in the highest times, my family, if we had a family celebration because of a birthday or something, we had around 50 to 60 people there. And I was the youngest one in the entire family. It's fine, Twee, don't worry. I can relate so badly because it feels like my entire life is ADHD. Even my big sister, who helped wise me, used to share awareness posts of ADHD and it's on Facebook. Yeah. No, but it was simply like, I remember what was it? It was the year Pokemon came into Europe. Was it 98? Oh god, that's been so long. I remember I was just a small boy and I loved Pokemon from the first moment that I saw it. So some of my family were like, hey, let's get him this Game Boy. Yeah? Pikachu edition. Very great, I still have it. And I was asked, which of the 2 games do you want? And I had no idea. So they ended up buying both blue and red. And my grandparents, completely unaware of what my parents did, separately decided, hey, he likes Pokemon that much. Let's get the N64 Pikachu edition with Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap. And my birthday came. I opened the presents and was like, ah! So they were not even aware that they bought the N64 and the Game Boy Color, both in Pikachu edition, in the same colors, matching to each other, separate from each other without speaking about it. Without knowing about the other gift. Was hilarious. I love it today. I still love it. I still have both here. And I love them. And to get back to the original thing that I wanted to say, I had a lot of things. Of course, all the consoles and everything. At one point, I even had a gaming laptop, but I never replaced that because I went full PC, simply because more convenient. And I had some guys from school coming over, and we spent the entire weekend gaming. Gaming on the consoles, gaming on PCs, having LAN party. You for the world, no wonder you're really cherry. Nah, you don't wish. The thing is, all they really did was throwing money at me. I never got any praise for anything I did. Because in elementary school, I was kinda ill. Because of a problem with my ears. My language was completely all over the place. I spoke a language nobody understood. Because it was such a freaked up German that not even my own parents understood what I was saying. And that they realized that this is because of my hearing only when I was 7. Which was hilarious. You can imagine school. I never understood I had real trouble speaking and writing. So they had to fix that. But in the meantime, I was an absolute genius in freaking mathematics. Yeah, because my mother taught me math already in kindergarten. And when I got into the first grade, I already could multiply up to 100. Which is, I have to say, I would not do that to my own children if I had any. But it certainly was interesting. So I ended up being, after elementary school, I went on and I was simply the best student in the entire school. Like, I ended up giving, like, private classes to my classmates in math and other topics so they can catch up and don't fail the year. Which worked. They improved by 2 to 3 grades simply through my private lessons. And I even had some students from 1 or 2 years above me who came in and got better because I helped them. To that, because I grew up with YouTube at 5 years old. Oh, I was absolutely obsessed with it and only watched English content and ended up with an accent and way of speaking that breaks my native language so bad. Oh. Yeah, I needed some time to learn English, honestly. The internet certainly helped. A lot. I remember when I was like... Oh, what was it? 16? 15, 16? I couldn't form a single sentence in English. Not even remotely. No chance in hell. So I ended up being the best in school. And even helping my fellow students like hell. Got recommendations from my teachers like mad. For my family, not a single praise. When I came home with the usual A+ in math. Yeah. Which became normal at that point. The only comment from my parents is, yeah, what else? Whatever. Completely not interested. I grew up with a lot of mobbing. I ended up being the completely dressed in black boy walking around the school ground on his own, talking with nobody, wanting to do nothing with anybody. And that only changed when when I came to a new school and the nerd group of the class was like, hey, look at him. He's finally someone that we can bully around because we are normally the ones that get bullied. And what they did was so harmless compared to what I went through so far that I completely ignored them, and they were so put off. They were so they were so confused that they simply ended up asking me what the hell is wrong. I told them the entire story to that point, which was regular bullying, regular fights with regularly getting punched and kicked all over the place, mistreated by the teachers. Yeah, elementary school was hell. Even threatened with knives and all that stuff. And they simply decided they can't have that. They can't leave me like this, and declared friendship on the spot. And to this day, some of them are still my best friends that I know in L. Even if they don't live near me anymore, they all moved away. They all went on with their lives, of course, but it's like, if I meet them by chance, randomly, it's like seeing this old friend finally back. It's kinda nice. No, but, until I was like 19, around 19, I was so antisocial. I was so silent, hesitant, unsure how to interact with people. If it's not my friends, I was so incredibly silent and was trying not to interact with new people. I was so out of my element if someone was there that I didn't know. That actually sounds like unbelievable. It sounds like an anime platform. Actually, it is. the interesting thing is, around that time, when I was like 17, 18, 19, I started consuming a lot of YouTube. Funnily enough, I was at that moment still a very heavy Xbox 360 guy. Lots of balls, exactly. I was just playing Call of Duty and FIFA all day long with my friends. Introverted. Yeah, I was very introvert back then. Like, really, really introvert. To the point that it was already pure depression, if you asked me. But, at one point, one of the boys said, "Hey, did you see this new game? Minecraft." Stay a hard introvert today? Yeah. That it's hard to get over. No, when Minecraft came around, the entire COD clan that we had moved over to the PC to play Minecraft together. And at one point, I simply wanted to know more and tipped Minecraft into the YouTube search. That was a turning point for my life. Minecraft, without that game, I would to this day likely still be an introvert and likely not sit here right now. Minecraft, as crazy as it is, changed my life. Simply because it made me search something on YouTube. I ended up finding a certain YouTuber who at that point was, I think, mid-30. And he was having a Minecraft LP that ended up having over 1,200 episodes. Each one between 15 and 40 minutes. Yeah. But he simply were more like a podcast than anything. And he simply talked about basically everything, but a lot about like psychology, about problems, how he deals with them, and especially like this introvert stuff. And it got me. Because it hit me like the hammer hit the nail, yeah? It's like, I ended up listening to this guy for the whole over 1,000 episodes. And also other projects that he did. Even today, I still watch him. And still follow his Twitch streams and all that stuff. He changed me. He changed me to the point that I would say I'm an extrovert. I meet a completely random person on the street. Or for whatever. Why you got verified accounts in? Hmm? Verified? Highland! What do you mean verified? No, but where was I? Ah, right. That guy, you can set me down into a random group of people that I don't know. Hi, Magpie. Hi. The cute Kimmy. If you say I'm cute, you would say I'm cute? Wait. No, but you can set me down into a group of completely random people and I would be the one starting the conversation. I am at the point where I have no trouble with speaking with people. I have no trouble going out and do stuff. I have no trouble being like completely open with everything. And I talk like a freaking waterfall. It is at the point that if my friends, my closer friends, know, if they want me to stop talking, just tell me. I'm not mad because I know I talk too much. And it's a little hilarious what a 180 you can do just with the right help and the right people, like the right interactions. But yeah, I wait. How did we got here? Wait, how did I got here? Oh wait. Oh wait, nah, I was certainly not spoiled in that regard. The amount of toys and games I had, looking back, I think I would have preferred simply proper interaction, human interaction, like kind interaction, getting properly wised and not by... I learned what is right or wrong over YouTube and not from my parents. Which is ridiculous if you ask me. This is not how it should be. I learned English not from my teachers but from people that I interacted with in the actual world. It was all very hilarious if you asked me. I mean, it's like that I would straight up say, it's actually sad, yeah. You're very hilarious. That as well. That as well. No, but I would say, now that I think about it, now that you said it, yes, you could make a complete anime plot out of it and it would make sense. It would likely be very relatable for people. No, it's like... Basically, isn't this like every single isekai anime ever? Like toys and games don't equate to simple parent? Not at all. Simply something like love, compassion, care. That was all not really there. I mean, I remember when I told them my original wish, what I wanted to do after school as work, was working in a zoo, taking care of animals. Yeah. And what my parents said to this was simply like, you don't want to do this gets paid poorly. And they talked it down so much that I basically gave it up at one point. Then I was like, okay, what else can I do? I could go to the police. Yeah? Policeman Kimmy on duty. And the only thing they said were like, okay, that's unrealistic. You can't do this with your education. And my mother then ended up talking me into it. Okay, you want to a job like that? Good, you have to study. And she talked me into going the route to going to my way to university, which was a long way because I had not the right degree to get there. I live more comfortably, but I think there is more joy to be had out of having a job you love. Yeah, that's for sure. The thing is, I never wanted to study or anything, and it ended up that I will never do it. Because my degree that I had back then was not good enough. I had to first go to one school to get a better degree, so I have the right knowledge, the right requirements to even attend the school where I can get the degree that allows me to go studying. German school system is very fucked up. So I had to, after my regular school, I had to go 1 year to a school to get a better degree that allows me to go to the next school to get an even better degree so I can go to the university to study. Overall, I spent, how many years? Wait. I worked from 16 to 17 was 1 year. Then 18 to 19 was a second year, and then another 6 years. I spent 8 years of my life going to schools to get better degrees that I ended up never needing because I didn't go studying. Which is sad. But the thing is, I never managed to actually get the degree that I need to be accepted to university. And my parents were like, yeah, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to be better than us. What? I don't want to be better than you, I want to be happy. Nobody cared. And yeah, it's overall also with around 18, 19, I realized that I'm not straight. But I never told anyone in my family. To this day, I didn't. Because I know exactly why they will not accept it. Because every single time the family comes together, it's the most homophobe and racist bullshit you can imagine. It's to the point that I, at one point, how old was I? Like 25? Back then, I stood up, said I cannot take this racist bullshit from you any longer, and left the room. They were a little bamboozled, because in their eyes they're not racist. But believe me, it's like, no. So yeah, they will never know. And they should never know. Screw them. But yeah, it's like, imagine you have enough toys to drown in it, but you don't have love. And wrong at first. Now that I'm hearing more about it. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know. I ended up with a lot of toys. I used them once and then they landed in a corner, not interesting. Because they were not interesting. They were just garbage thrown at me to be occupied. I remember when I got the very first console back then, the NES. Yeah, the Nintendo Entertainment System for my cousin. Because he gifted it to me. With Super Mario and no, not even Super Mario. That was all the way back then. How was he? Jumpman? Where you just climb up while Donkey Kong is throwing the freaking barrels down at you. That was my first game. And a marble game and some other stuff there. I remember every time when my parents were like, okay, we need to occupy him, they simply set me in front of the TV. I can really agree with the sexuality thing. I found out that dudes can be pretty cute and kind of like them. Labeled myself as a bisexual after finding out I liked them both. To be honest, I first was like bisexual. I was like, okay, I'm seemingly bisexual. But the more I looked into the whole spectrum and the different people and all, I ended up settling on pansexual because I really don't care about gender at all. Gender is, for me, completely irrelevant. I don't care. I don't even care what you... I say I'm a femboy, yes. But I don't have a preferred pronouns or anything. If you say I'm a girl, sure, then I'm a girl for you. You say I'm a boy, sure, also fine. Yeah, I certainly don't care, and I never will. Because at this point I have just as many people calling me a girl than I have people that call me a boy. So yeah, so much for that. I mean, I get it that some people want it to be more precise because it's their identity and so on, but I personally for myself don't freaking care. I don't think I will tell my parents ever, even if they are old. Especially not when they are old. I mean, they are already old. My mother is 61. My father is 58. Yeah. My grandparents are both over 80. Like, excuse me? Old? Did someone say old? So yeah, I will likely never tell them. Screw it. It's not important. It's not like they would care at all. If anything, they will judge me. And I'm certainly not up for that. Excuse me real quick. Drinking my tea before it gets cold. Don't care what you're packing or hiding as long as you're cute or hot. Respect. The thing is, I have very simple, reasonable aspects. I don't care about your gender. Yeah? I also don't care about your pronunciation. Your skin color, I don't care.
Drink some fucking
Water is a
water!
good call, actually. No. Gender, I don't care. Skin color, I couldn't care less. Yeah, you're a human being. I don't... What does the skin color say? Okay, you have different ancestors. And? Where's the difference? Religion? In my opinion, religion can be good if not misused. Religion can have its good sides. You didn't know it would do that? No, I saw the good and the bad sides about religion in my own family. My grand aunt, without religion, she would have died like 10 years earlier than she did. And she wouldn't have survived caring for her husband, who had a brain disease. Yeah. She wouldn't have managed. Yeah, to me too, personally. But I say without her belief, she wouldn't have been able to live how she lived. And she wouldn't have been able to survive the way she survived. Yeah. On the other side, you of course also see the bad side about religion, like when it gets misused or misread or taken advantage of, like for their own gain. I mean, look at, I don't know, Muslims. I know, careful topic. But if one friend of my father once told me, because for whatever reason we came to that, largest Christian country in all of Southeast Asia, and it's very conservative populist. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, but a friend from my father is from Turkey, and he said me once, if he would take the holy writings really, really seriously, he wouldn't be allowed to use any kind of force against anyone. He wouldn't even be allowed to insult you. Yeah? And now look what they actually do and misuse that religion for their own gain down there. It's hilarious. And Christianity did the exact same thing a few hundred years ago. Yeah? I have to remind, the freaking Crusades were exactly the same bullshit. There's a lot of LGBTQ people here, and one large celebrity who is a global icon for the Philippines, and they are non-binary queer person. Yeah, fine. Hey, if that makes them happy, it makes them happy. Then it is good, right? The thing is simply, the religion is confusing for me. It depends if you even make it a religion or not. The thing is simply that a lot of writings were never confirmed to be actually from any kind of holy person. A lot of writings can be interpreted very differently. And a lot of writings, you have people who take them word for word. And you have people who interpret into the writings. So, who is right now? Yeah, it's very confusing. I always say like something like the Bible is like less rules and more advice. Yeah? It is more advice like you shouldn't steal. You shouldn't hurt others. You shouldn't murder. You shouldn't go after the wife of someone else, yeah? These are very good morals. This, otherwise I'm gonna suddenly spiral into yapping and no one wants to hear that. It's fine. The thing is simply what I wanted to say is I don't really care what religious belief you have. I don't care where you're coming from, how you look, yeah, what skin color, whatever, or which language you speak, yeah. Nationality is a human construct. We are all humans, goddammit. Yeah, and it's what counts for me. If are you a good person? Are you treating others well? Are you kind? Or are you stupid? And even if you're stupid, you can be kind. Yeah? It's simply like... Attractiveness for me is more like... Okay, you're not brain dead stupid. And you treat others well. And you look okay. You look good. Yeah? Looking good is like simply having a certain amount of self-care. They're all accepting him. What shape, form, or background you are, you're welcome in his eyes. It's kinda, yeah. I mean, my very first girlfriend was strange, to say the least. She was a little strange. In the end, she left me because, like, she decided she needs a richer person for her as boyfriend. Yeah, she was very strange. She was the incarnation of a German girl. Yeah, pale skin, blonde hair, relatively short. The second girlfriend was taller than me. She was Polish. And, yeah. And the girl that I ended up being together with for 8 years after her, was from a very, very poor, socially poor family. But I didn't care. I was like, hey, I like her, I love her, and I take care of her. If she is from such a bad place, I will show her a better place. And I ended up spending 24,000 euros in this 8 years. Just on her. And after 8 years and engagement and everything, she cheated on me. And then broke up. And I never saw her again. Ouch! 2020 was a very bullshit year. 2020 was a very bad year. A German and a Polish. I wonder if any jokes were made about that. The only jokes that were made were by our parents discussing when we will finally marry. Yeah, that one was a big turn. Like, start of 2020, on the first in New Year, we got engaged. Under firework, I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. And everything was great. We had our troubles over the 8 years, but this year, everything went great. Everything was perfect. I finally got a job. We were engaged. We had great holidays, great start into the year, and everything. And then it started. COVID came. Or even before COVID. First off, January. In January 2020 alone, 3 people from my family died. 3 people. My grandmother, okay, was expected. She was 107. Then my grandmother from my father's side died. one aunt from my father's side died. Then later that year, COVID came in and I was socially completely disconnected from everyone, which really hurt me because I'm a very social creature at that point. And then it continued that in summer 2020, I got told by my freaking doctor that because of my health conditions, I have to take medicine for the rest of my life. That has the side effect that it kind of destroys my digestive system, so I have to take additional medication to counter the side effects of the other medication. It's great. Then, like, literally a month later, my engaged girlfriend cheated on me and left me completely. That was 2 weeks before my birthday. Then I had my birthday, which I didn't celebrate. Then at the end of November, on a Friday, I said bye to all the people from my job because it was weekend and I had free and everything was nice, everyone was fine, everyone was kind of kind for a change, which was rare in that job. I come home, look into my mailbox. Yeah. I'm fired. It was literally out of nowhere. So, at the end of November, I lost my job as well, and the entire December I was simply alone in my apartment. No family, no friends, no girlfriend, no job. Sick, heavily medicated. Just sitting here, alone. I ended up putting up a complete Christmas tree and decorating the entire apartment in lights and Christmas decoration. Just so I have something nice. Just for myself. Yeah. And then came January 2021. And I was like, what the hell am I doing here? I sit here alone. In my freaking apartment, in my bed, on my couch, in front of my PC, not communicating with anyone, not seeing anyone, not going outside, nothing. And feeling sorry for myself. Am I stupid? I guess it's a safe way to say that you went through a lot to end up where you are, you know? Yeah, kinda. Kinda. I don't even think I'm alright after all this. The only one who actually knows everything is actually my doctor. She knows basically my entire story from front to end. From the mistreatment in school, from the mistreatment of my family and teachers, to the entire thing with my former relationship and my health issues and everything. She knows it all. And she said very clearly, I need therapy. I need that badly, even if just for someone professional to listen to me. The problem is, getting therapy here is basically impossible for the normal living. So I sit here. And I think 2020 damaged me somehow. I'm relatively sure of it. Because my life is not alright. I say it like this. I still have no job. Or better said, I can't hold any job. Mostly because of health conditions and everything. But still. Then I have a real big motivation issue. Which is also the part why isolation can be slow sickness. And 2020 was a year of ultimate isolation. Yes. And especially the December of 2020. 2020. I like to joke around that 2020 never happened. We don't talk about it. That year, I was not alive in this year. I was not present. I was AFK. I was in the holidays. I was not even on this planet. I was not here. That year doesn't exist. No, it's overall. I went through a lot to be where I am now. And I'm still not where I want to be. I think the moment I finally get a job where I'm actually happy with, where I actually say I'm satisfied and I can live with this, I think that would be a good first step. And yeah, we will see. We will see. At this point, everything can happen. Like, really. It's like, if you went through all this bullshit, like the humiliations as a child, the mistreatment, the constant mobbing. I remember many things very specifically. Yeah. I remember, for example, one time that was actually, I was so mad. I was so mad. The teachers in my elementary school, they were really after me. Sorry to hear about your story, and I'm glad to see that you're still here today. Honestly, I have to say I learned to try to see things positive. Yes, I have my moments where I'm like, what am I doing here even? But I try to see things positive. Like, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still going. I have my own apartment. I have my own car. I have my PC set up. I have you guys here with the stream. That is really fun to me, honestly. I do this for over 2 years and I enjoy it like nothing else. I still try to get a job despite everything, which is, after so many years, kind of insane. I joke around. I've completely finished all achievements here in the city. I finished this game. I need a different one. When one is thirsty, they think of water. It only makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense in a way. No, but I remember elementary school. My teachers, I think they hated me or something. I'm not sure. I remember some of the boys in the class were bullying one of the girls, which was a really good one of the rare friends that I had. And they stole her jacket and were shoving her around and threatening to destroy her jacket and all that stuff. I was like, you don't do this to my friend. Fuck you. I went in, got the jacket away from them, and the moment I wanted to give it back to my friend, she was so full with tears, she just tore on the jacket and wanted to run, and I couldn't let go fast enough. So I stumbled, and she stumbled, and the teachers came in and accused me of being the reason for her crying, and the main one who stole her jacket and everything. And when I wanted to explain myself, they just said, shut up. I threw hands a lot in school. But that was 99% always out of self-defense, even if no one accepted the self-defense, because that self-defense most times ended with them barely regretting ever tried to get to me. Yeah, I also remember that was a really big gathering of students, where we were supposed to listen to the teachers, what they were saying and all that. And then they said, okay, everyone, go to your classes. And it was packed. Yeah. The corridor was way too small for all the students. And I was in the middle of it, and all of a sudden everyone started pushing. And at one point, I simply lost footing. Yeah. My feet were not even on the ground anymore. I was just shoved around. And one of the teachers grabbed me, pulled me out of this crowd, and I was so thankful in that moment. I wanted to thank them, but before I could say anything, they were shouting at me that I am the only and sole reason that there is pushing in the crowd. What? Or another time, I was late. Late to class because one of the teachers was keeping me occupied for... I don't even understand why she kept me occupied, but even when I said I will be late to class, she said, doesn't matter, it's fine. I need your help now. So I helped her, then went for my class. A different teacher saw me outside of class, and instead of letting me go to class even though late, she grabbed me and said you deserve to be punished for being late. Didn't accept any apology, any explanation, just said you deserve to be punished because you are not supposed to be late. It was absolutely ridiculous. And of course, every time I got punched, I got bullied or shoved around, nothing happened. The moment I tried to defend myself, I'm the evil guy. How are you telling this story so casually? I'd absolutely be infuriated. The thing is a long time ago. It's been a long time ago. Many of the teachers are not even alive anymore. Yeah? Why should I be mad at people who are long dead? That is not useful at all. I remember only once another student got in trouble for going after me. Because I was just tapping him onto the shoulder. Yeah? I was just tapping him onto the shoulder. Nothing else. Because I wanted his attention. He grabbed my arm and threw me over his shoulder with the spine first onto the concrete. Needless to say that this was not good. Because he was in fighting school for... I don't even know which self-defense course he had. But he was not supposed to use this offensively. And he was not supposed to use it at all in school. So he got in trouble for it. But he got in trouble for using his self-defense ability without needing the self-defense. In the meantime, I was on the ground, crying my eyes out, because obviously that hurt like hell. No one cared. No one freaking cared. I also remember I once, granted I was at fault myself, I jumped down some stairs and landed with my knees on the concrete. I was bleeding like shit. Do you think any of the teachers cared? It ended up one of the parents from my classmates called the ambulance. Because she saw me there, bleeding on the ground. Crying my eyes out. And, I don't know how the teachers got away with this bullshit. Honestly, nowadays, they would most likely be fired immediately. But back then? Was different time, I guess. No, but it's like... Or later, after elementary school, I was already damaged. Because I never had many friends, and the few friends that I had were gone, because new school. I was immediately cast out by everyone, because I don't know why. Something was wrong. I think I was already damaged at that point with the amount of mistreatment. So I never engaged much. I remember specifically one time, a lot of the kids always played catch. Yeah. and or hide and seek and stuff like this. Villain arc? Nah, I'm too kind for that. I remember specifically one time one of the kids actually asked me if I want to play along. If I want to play too. And I was like, is this really happening? Yes, yes, please, sure. So I was there, played as well. But simply, this one kid was the only one who wanted to let me play along. So the others were like, what are you doing? We're playing tag, right? Yes, but you don't. Piss off. Your mother is an imp that goes cast out of being so cute to nice. Yeah, it's indirectly. When I made my story, I modeled my entire model after an old D&D character. The very first D&D character I ever made. Yeah? With backstory and everything. Kinda the same. And you can guess how I got to this D&D character back then. So yeah. No, but it's like... I was devastated. Yeah, I thought finally I could be part of this. Finally I could have maybe friends. And then the entire class simply says, piss off. We don't want you here. Or another time, I, at this point, already highly like... I was only 11 years old, I have to say, yeah? I was like, all to myself, was just running circles on the school ground. All by myself, not talking with anyone, just waiting for the break to finally be... For the great break to finally over. And at one point, one guy, I think 15 years old or so, 15, 16 years old, came to me and demanded money. I didn't have money. I was 11 years old. What the hell? I don't have money. He pulled out a knife and repeated, then said he wants my entire bag. Yeah, my school bag. I ended up snapping. I kicked the freaking knife out of his hand and started with a decent kick into the balls. Followed up with more than just a few punches into his face. Needless to say, he was a little bit damaged. He never got in trouble, even after they found the knife, and eyewitnesses confirmed that he was threatening me with a freaking knife on the school ground. He never got in trouble, but I got nearly expelled for punching him. I nearly got expelled from the school for defending myself. Yes. And then I told this my parents, my mother. I mean, they never really cared for me much in the sense of emotional caring, but they cared really about my education. And my mother was furious. Oh, holy shit, she was mad when she heard that. So she came to school, talking with the school leadership, with the counselor and the teachers, and they told her off in a way that I will never forget. And that was actually the moment she also was like, what the hell is wrong with the school? They treated this grown-up woman and mother of, how old was she? 40? In her 40s? Like a freaking child that should shut up and learn her place and leave the school ground. Like, what? No, and at the, like, after a few months of this constant madness, I was literally crying in front of my mother, sitting on the ground, begging her to not send me to the school again. Against our childhood struggles, you literally got punished for defending yourself against a fucking mugger with a knife. Yeah. Yeah. No, I ended up begging her under tears to not send me to the school again. So, since German school system, I had to finish that year somehow. I finished that year. And normally I would have needed to repeat that year. But since I switched school and went down our way, because the way the German school system works is we have a so-called Hauptschule, Real School, and Gymnasium. Yeah, the higher you get, the better your education. So I went from the Real School to the Hauptschule, and because I basically downgraded, I didn't need to repeat the year. None of those stories make any sense to me. Yeah, they don't make any sense to me either, that's the problem. Hi Zoe, fishes. Yes, it's definitely, even flying fishes make more sense than this bad bullshit that I had to live through. Boy, Wayne. Ah! Wayne! Ah, it's raining. Yeah, it's raining, raining. It is raining, raining. No, but in all honesty, it's like... So yeah, that was like... I then went to this basically downgrade of a school. So I don't have to repeat the year. And as I said, the guys there were a little different. Because of all the bullshit that I went through, as I said, the nerd group, who were basically the gamers, yeah? Back then it was called nerd. Today it's simply a gamer, yeah? They were like calling me names and trying to be cool and so on, and I was like, okay. Whatever. And move on, yeah? And they were so put off that they simply asked what happened. I told them the entire story that I just told you here. And they were like, what the fuck is wrong? And simply called friendship right then and there. And kind of simply forced me to be part of their group. And honestly, it ended up being really great. The way my class worked back there was basically the class was split in 3 groups. The nerds, the cool guys, or the sport guys, and the girls. Yeah? With 1 or 2 outliers who didn't were part of any group. So the girls were always for themselves, and the sport guys were always like, yeah, it's fine. We are the cool guys and whatever. And there was never really a hostility between the groups, but still. I remember specifically one time one of the guys from our other class wanted to get to me for whatever reason. I don't even understand what it was. And he threatened me, and 2 of my classmates, both already back then with 14, going to the gym. Because the father of one was the owner of a gym. They were already to the gym, and they were both like a head taller than me. I just remember them coming left and right from behind me, past me, grabbing this guy basically at the throat, and were like, don't you dare touch him. Oh my god, that was so hilarious. It was the first time ever in my life that someone stood up and defended me, which was hilarious to me. It felt so strange. A sucker for justice because I grew up being treated unfairly and or unequally by pretty much everyone knew, so I grew a massive hatred to injustice and unfairness in the world. Yeah, kind of the same. Never been ticked off more by how unfair something can be, or there's so many childhood stories. Yeah. The thing is simply, I have a habit. Which comes especially up when I play games. Especially if you have choices in games. Yeah, if you have good or bad choices. Yeah, being good or evil. I have a very big tendency to automatically go for the good route. Yeah, be it freaking Mass Effect, be it Dragon Age, be it whatever. Even freaking Overlord. Yeah, Overlord is a game where you play the evil Overlord who is there to enslave the land. I always pick the lesser evil. I could murder them all, I could subjugate them all. But why murder and subjugate them when it's enough that they see you as this maybe evil but great protector that they just have to pay homage and money? I mean, it's certainly better than getting murdered. Why should I murder them if they pay me? What? Are you crazy? Or like the latest game that we played. Here, Forgotten End. I didn't even know there were like different endings. Depending on how you play. And I automatically tried to get the best for everyone. Even though the characters in that game were not even human. But just forgotlings, basically objects that came to life. Yeah? It's like the most not human thing that you can think of, and I treated it nonetheless. Do you perhaps think that the reason why you were treated so badly by your school is simply because you were different from the expectations? I think maybe. Maybe. I mean, I was already different in kindergarten. I can't remember everything from my kindergarten time, when I was like 4 or 5 years old. But I can remember some. And I remember, for example, that I always was really bored by puzzles and stuff like this. Like sitting in a circle with everyone and playing puzzles or stuff like this. I was so bored out of my mind by this. Partly because it was too easy, but also partly because it was simply not interesting. Or like going outside, just running around or playing in the sand was like, but why? Why should I play in the sand, which has no use and no fun, just making my clothes dirty? And I'm EP. I want to sleep. Yeah, we had this room with all these hammocks and all this stuff like pillows and everything. And I was sleeping there. They woke me up and forced me to go outside. They actually forced me to sit down with everyone else to play puzzle. Which I, in the end, never did. I was then sitting there and waiting for it to end. Yeah, I was always a tiny bit different. In the sense of, yeah, it doesn't interest me. Yeah, I was there when there was like stuff to read. I was there when we were like, hey, look at this. We work with wood and create like own little features and stuff like this. I was there. I was full there. Full on. Fully engaged. But like some pointless work without any use? No. Also then, we have this tradition that when you go have the last days of your kindergarten and basically go to school after summer in the first grade, that in the kindergarten you make like this big bags, very colorful, with pictures on top of it and everything, and filled with all kinds of stuff, from sweets to school stuff to whatever. Everyone else wear like flowers and colorful stripes and points and everything in nice colors, in blue, in green, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, very nice, with sun, with happy people and all that stuff. You know what I did? Mine was bright yellow with a black castle with lightning, spiders, spider webs, a ghost on top, and a bright purple, like nearly unpleasantly purple top on top of the entire bag. I basically made a full-on Halloween thing. Because I found it cool. I found it better. And granted, this specific bag actually caused me to get to know one of my best friends that I am still very good friends with and still have contact with. We got to know each other with 6 years old. We are both over 30 now and still good friends. And only because I had this specific Halloween bag. Instead of like the standard thing. And I think this specific bag was also the point which was the reason that I stood out. From everyone else and why people kinda choose me as the one to bully. Because, hey, he stands out. That's not normal. Let's take him. Also the fact I always had long hair. As a child of 6 years old, I always had shoulder long hair. Kinda funny actually. The one girl that I was really good friends with, that I talked about earlier, also had shoulder long blonde hair. And we had kinda the same stuff on as well, like Mickey Mouse and stuff like this. In terms of clothes. The same haircut, the same hair color, the same hair length. We were similar height. From the distance, you couldn't difference who of the two is who. We were always hanging out together if we could. And it was kind of funny. Because like 10 meters away, you couldn't tell apart who of us is the boy and who is the girl. Was kind of funny. Not gonna lie. And I also remember one Halloween party that was a classmate who has birthday on Halloween. Congratulations, I guess. No, he made a Halloween party. And that girl and I both showed up dressed up as the Grim Reaper. Without talking about each other in terms of what costume we take. We had automatically the same costume. It was kind of hilarious. And then we stood in the door. And they were like, okay, and who are you guys now? Yeah, we are this and this. Okay. And who of you is who? Because it was impossible to tell us apart. It was hilarious. I found it kind of funny. Of course, sadly, the friendship broke apart because our parents got quite hostile to each other. Hi, Foxy. Wait, today? Wait, what? Wait, it is today? Was it? Wait, what? A Grim Reaper outfit with your model would unironically be cutest thing ever. Aww. I mean, I remember last year what did I go with last year? A witch. Yeah, a witch outfit. Last year I had a witch outfit. I remember. I also remember the first Christmas I had as a VTuber. I was as Rudolph, the reindeer, with the reindeer horns and the red blinking nose. And last year Christmas I went with straight up Christmas elf. Yeah. Wait, really? Is it today? Wait. Wait, there's nothing in terms of... Wait, what? Huh? Wait, what's this? Let's see. To be announced. What? I think he's wrong. I don't think it's out already. I don't think it will be today. No, but to go back to actually, yeah, I have to say it's. I went through a lot. I really went through a lot. I even was put in therapy because obviously I was the one who got in trouble all the time in school, so something must be wrong with me, right? So they put me in therapy, and the therapist, the good woman back then, I remember when she talked with my mother after 3 months of therapy, she straight up told her, I have no idea why the boy is here, but he doesn't belong here. Yeah? She straight up said there's nothing wrong with me. And still, they left me there. Because the teachers demanded it, kinda. Which is hilarious. No, and, yeah, I said, funny enough, what got me out of all this madness and kinda broken mindset was a freaking YouTuber. One single man out there that I never met or saw before. It is absolutely hilarious. And I already said, if I ever get the chance to talk with this guy, yeah, he will get the biggest thank you of a lifetime. He is not aware of it, but he basically saved my life. Because I don't know where I would be now if I would still be in the mindset that I had with 16, 17, 18. I would most likely not where I am now. I would most likely be far worse off. If you think about it, it is kinda crazy. Demon Blades. Okay. Yeah. No. I remember, I mean, the 8 years with my ex-girlfriend were kinda on me. I could have prevented it if I would have seen the red flags. For example, one time, I wanna stay longer to hear you more on your stories. It's 1:30 a.m. It's fine. It's fine. Have a good night then. Maybe stick around and go to sleep, but I was so caught up in your story, my ADHD, I forgot to sleep. Hey, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. Just get some rest. Sleep well. Sleep well, sleep well. And thanks for being here. No, I remember one time I knew she hated roller coasters. I knew that. So I picked out, since I wanted to spend a proper day with her out. Yeah. Intervention upcoming from school because I have been late several times and I'm gonna be late again this time. Oh, god damn it. No. Take care, okay? Take care. Yeah. No, what I want to say? Alright, I knew she didn't like roller coasters, so I picked out a theme park that is specifically for slower stuff, like lots of cinemas and movie stuff, 4D movie, and a lot of very nice sights and shows and everything, like entertainment, yeah? I spent for entrance alone 120 euros, plus the drive there with fuel, yeah, with the gas. I spent on this day around 200 euros. And the day ended after around 40 minutes. We arrived there. She sat down on a bench and refused to do anything or go anywhere. She was constantly just complaining and crying about how bad everything is, that I ended up after 40 minutes saying, okay, you know what? We drive home. Right now. Move your butt or stay here. I don't care. I go. And I went back to the car and we drove back in silence. Pure silence. I was mad as fuck. I planned such a great day with her, and she basically ruined it all in a matter of minutes. And she knew she messed up, but instead of apologizing, she comes up to me and says, hey, I know that's bad, but you should have known I don't like theme parks. What? This was so hilarious, I tell you. It's like, and that was only one of many cases. Like, oof. Really oof. And I didn't saw the freaking red flag. I mean, I was basically second pick anyway. So that was already the first mistake to get with her, together with her in the first place. But yeah, whatever, I was stupid. I was stupid and I learned from it. Let's say it like this. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. In the end, we all have bad experiences every now and then. And we all can only learn from it to have better ones afterwards. That's how it goes. Past is past. It's the same thing that I say about my school life and all that stuff that went down. Like, I can't change it. It was shit. Yeah? It was unpleasant. It was unfair. It was, to big parts, even abusive. But I can't change that. I can only change what I do now. Yeah? I can only change what I decide to do from here on. And I try to make the best of it. And I think that's the most healthy mindset you can have. Try to learn from it. Try to be a better human being than the ones that were bad to you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's that simple. Great, my tea is cold. I'm yapping for 1.5 hours and the tea is cold. Who would have guessed? But yeah, it is what it is. My entire history, my childhood and teens are, to a good extent, bullshit. My family, I don't know. Let's say it like this. I wouldn't really be sad if I don't see them again. If I would, from today on, never see them again, I would not really be mad. I wouldn't be sad. I would simply say, yeah, it is what it is. And that tells you everything about me and my family's relationship with each other. In their eyes, nothing is wrong. In my eyes, everything about them is wrong. No, I also, because of all this stuff that I went through, I have also developed strange stuff. Like, really strange. I do want to say before I leave, your kindness is unmatched to anybody else I know. You are literally one of the embodiments of too kind for the world, mistreated, and still ended up kind. I can only hope that you make peace in everything, because suppression is the bane of growth. Continue being kind and who you are, now that you are better off where you are now. Aww, that's so kind of you. Thank you for the kind words. I try. I really do. The thing is, what I want to say, all this bullshit that I went through, all the stuff like you're not allowed to cry, you're not allowed to get mad, you're not allowed to do this, to that. I developed certain issues. For example, I cannot cry. It doesn't matter how sad something is. I can't shed a tear. No matter how sad I am, matter how much I want to cry, I can't. There's nothing coming out. The only instant where actually tears roll is from basically Goosebumps. And I rewatch freaking Lord of the Rings, The Ride of the Rohirrim, at least once a month, just to check if my tears even are still present, if something is even still working there. Yeah. Also something, I cannot scream. I can, for the life of me, not scream. It's like my consciousness is preventing me from raising my voice over a certain limit. It's absolutely hilarious. And lastly, I have a real adrenaline problem. The reason you can't cry is because you cried them all out. Yeah, could be. And get to bed, goddammit. I have a really big adrenaline problem. To the extent that the smallest amount of stress can already trigger a fight or flight reaction inside of me. And my entire body gets simply pumped full with adrenaline, even if there's no reason for it. The smallest amount of stress can already cause my body to overreact. And I have to actively fight back in keeping calm. Which is absolutely crazy. I had so many situations where I had to actively keep myself still. I noticed that especially, I remember a confrontation where it was nothing serious. It was just like authority. Yeah. Authority in front of me. I had to stay calm. But I couldn't. I noticed how my legs started shaking, and I had to actively hold back to not turn into fight or flight. Which is absolutely disgusting. Your head tells you everything is fine, nothing bad is happening, but your body simply reacts. Which is not good. And I had that analyzed by a doctor before. And the outcome was simply that because of everything I went through, the constant suppression of adrenaline, and also the constant expectation as a child that any moment something bad can happen and will happen, that I simply evolved the point where my body overreacts to stress. Even I had this even in heated discussions in freaking Discord. Yeah, it's not like I sit in front of my PC. Nothing bad can happen. I sit alone in my apartment in front of my PC in a Discord call and had someone disagreeing with me to the point that I was convinced they are stupid because they don't understand, or they're just stubborn, or they're like wage baiting or whatever. I got mad, and in becoming mad, I immediately was so full of adrenaline I couldn't even stay sitting. I had to actively stand and keep myself calm, which is crazy. So yeah, it's like I have so many issues. But at the same time, I have like a freaking blood pressure problem that my blood pressure is too low. So if I actively overtax my body, I actually go unconscious, which is not useful at all. Which was also the case many times as a child. I had situations where from one to the next point, I simply fall unconscious. Out of nowhere. Simply dropping a move to the ground, out of nowhere, without any reason at all. That was scary, to say the least. And of course, when I get pumped full with adrenaline, as a child, I had no idea what was going on, and was simply letting go. I had full-on blackouts. My body moved on its own. I myself was not there, which is scary to think of. I mean, if the body simply reacts to fight or flight, purely pumped on adrenaline, like, what do you think will happen? That is nothing you can do. I had a massive fear of syringes as a child, and I remember one time it was like it needed to be done, and because some immunizations, standard stuff, they held me down with 3 grown-up people, held me onto this bed, and they had trouble. I was in such a panic that they had actual trouble keeping a small 5-year-old child under control. This is like ridiculous. The human body is capable of so much strength. The thing is, actually, that's proven, if our minds wouldn't hold us back with pain and other stuff, the human body has enough strength to actually break our muscles. Let our muscles rip and our bones scatter. Because if we would be able to actually use 100% of the human body's strength, we would actually destroy ourselves, because the human body is not capable of handling the full 100%. Which is scary to think of. Because the moment the mind sets out, we can tap into that area. Which is not healthy, to say the least. Neither for you, nor for the one that you face. But that's how fight or flight works, right? I mean, it's basically the last resort. Like, either do this or die, yeah? It's ridiculous that this is, like, triggered so easily. And it's also scary. It's scary to think of that what yourself are capable if you don't keep control. And I like to be in control, not gonna lie. I like to keep my cool. I mean, I'm at the point where I rarely get mad. Yeah? If I get mad, then I get seriously mad, but even then, I try. That's actually something I started doing a lot. If someone disagrees with me, I try to see it from their perspective and to figure out why do they disagree with me. I'm not getting mad that they disagree with me. I don't try to convince them simply because I have a different opinion. I try to figure out why do they have a different opinion? Why do they disagree with me? Why do they certain things? What is the reasoning? Which is, I think not many do this. I don't think many people do this. I try to figure out why so I can get the best outcome. Not just for me, but also for them. Because if I figure out why someone disagrees with me, I also figure out what they are thinking, and I can come to a compromise most of the time. Which is, I think it would be cool, it would be great if more people would do this. But I think many people out there don't have either the capability or the will. I think it's mostly the will to do something like this. No, I always, for some reason, want the best outcome for everybody. I said it earlier, I have a heavy tendency to always play good guy and try to get the good ending, even if I don't even know that there is a good ending. Yeah, I point to Forgotten Anne again. That game, I didn't even know there was a good and a bad ending. I didn't even know you could be like lunatic. I automatically, without too much thinking about it, choose the good side. As Foxy said, I basically did the pacifist one, without even thinking about it. I just felt like it's the right thing to do. It's absolutely hilarious. And I really try to bring positivity to people. Yeah, if someone has depression, I know I have depression, but if someone else has depression, I give a fuck about my own well-being and sit down and listen to them and try to help them. If someone has a problem, it doesn't matter what I deal with at that point or in that moment. Wait, you have a problem? Can we solve that somehow? I'm immediately like, okay, wait, someone else needs help? Yeah? I don't know why. I don't know why. I always figured that I'm relatively selfish. But the selfishness, especially in my younger years, came mostly from, I think, being alone so much. Yeah, having only really like not even a handful of friends. Being like not really any proper care for my family in that sense. If you always are, I mean, if your closest friends are your toys, yeah? If the only one who cares for you is your imagination transferred in your teddy bear, I think it's understandable that you get really possessive for your belongings to the point that you can't even part with them. I remember I had my childhood room for, I think, with 16, around 16, I actually, for the first time, parted ways with some of my toys. Until then, I even had toys that I got with like 5-6 years old that I didn't want to part with. So yeah, it's like very, in a way it's really sad. In a big way it's really sad. But yeah, you would think that someone like me who always was kinda alone and the only one that cared for them was their own toys and one yourself, really, that someone like this would be a little bit more selfish, and I always thought I'm selfish. But somehow I ended up with this mindset of, if someone else is in trouble, I have to help them. Even if it gives me a disadvantage, even if it's inconvenient for me, I have to help them. I don't know why. I don't know why I have to. I don't know why I think that I have to. And I don't even know why I want to help them. I just do it. I remember... As I said, I try to spread positivity. I was on the receiving end of bad treatment in more than one way. In the school, in the family, from the surroundings, from the job, from everything. I went through it all. And I simply try to make it better. Yeah. If I go grocery shopping, I come to the checkout and the cashier who sits there for, I don't know, 5 hours, one after the other, yeah, next, having to pretend to be nice. I simply smile, greet them properly, ask if everything is well, maybe make a joke when something came up or something, and wish them a great day when I leave. Or that I hope they have a great day or a great weekend or something. I take this 5 seconds. It doesn't cost me anything. And it gives them something positive for a change. Compared to one after the other person just passing by with a face like it is the saddest day of their life or something. Annoyed, bad day, whatever. And I really try to do this everywhere. Yeah. If I meet someone new, I try to immediately figure out what kind of person it is. If they are positive, everything's fine. Just laugh. Yeah. If they are negative, if they are like sad or mention something bad, I immediately jump onto it. Like, what's wrong? Want to talk about it? Can I help you somehow? Even if just with listening. It's ridiculous. I care about others more than about myself, and I think that's a really big problem. Because I let myself go so hard while only caring about others. It's not even good. I think it's already self-damaging at that point. But I also don't really want to get rid of it. Because I think that makes me out as a person. And after all that I went through, I think it's understandable. Anyway, guys. It's been 2 hours. 2 hours of rambling. 2 hours of just talking about stuff that I talked about before. But I know some here are new. Like Cesarion was also new. And didn't heard it before. So I repeated myself for the millionth times. I have a tendency to repeat myself. I don't even know why. It just came up somehow. And yeah. After all, we are all trying, right? We are all trying to make the best out of our lives somehow. And I think that's important. So, anyway. So, what's the plan? Exactly, that's where I wanted to go. We have 2 options. We could play Schedule 1, but honestly, I don't really feel like mixing. Because that would require a lot of even more yapping. Because not much is happening there. We could go into Stardew. There's still a lot there. The thing is, I'm not really that fit. And mentally on completely here. So there is not that much options. I personally also... Yeah. Because otherwise I would have said like Monster Hunter, but I don't think I can manage. My reaction speed, I noticed it. I tried to play one League game earlier this morning. Let's say it like this. My reaction speed is basically 3 times slower than usual. Yeah, I don't know. It's not good. I could play Stardew. There's a game that this person loves. Sorry. I know. The Final Fantasy is there. Also, I saw something. In 2026, we will play Cult of the Lamp again because the new DLC comes out. Maybe, just maybe, we will even play earlier to finally finish the base game. That is definitely on the list. But as I said, my current reaction speed is basically not there. I even considered to leave it as a talking stream today and not game for a change. Simply because I'm not completely fit. Yeah, I'm not fully there. I'm not at 100%. I'm obviously sick. I just emptied my tea. What? 2-point hospital. That would be something. I mean, wait. Can I? Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Wait. Wait, where do I? Ah, frick. Wait. This one. Can I? Let me. Please. Ah. My Steam. I mean, I have a big list of games, yeah? There's a big list of games. Wait, you're in the way. Ah, shit. What are you doing? Go over here. There's a big list of games. Dog walk. Wait, what? That thing? Ah, true. I also have this. Yeah, as I said, I have a big list of games here. All sorted by genre. Or maybe everything else. Cozy relax. Yeah, I will play it at one point. That here, this here, for example, is also like... It is not that easy. Salmon Mix is also nice. Yeah, I know. I have hit a vote on GOG. And of course, this is true. The third part of this, I actually have here in the shelf. It's the main reason why I didn't bought it. But since I don't have a CD reader on a DVD reader on my PC anymore, I will also buy the third one. Honestly, I never finished them. I know I played Save the World for a while. I think. Did I? Yeah, I played Save the World for a while. A little bit. I think the first two episodes I finished. But nothing else. 2.5. Yeah. This one not even started. Because obviously. Monkey Island? return to Monkey Island. Also something. Honestly, we could spend the next few streams simply going to my game library. Because there's a lot. This here is also a very nice game from Dedalic. This year as well. Very good games. Before everything went to shit there. Yeah. And as I said, I have Black Mirror. Black Mirror is very dark. But also way more complicated. Yeah. Yeah. Then of course we go in here. Holy shit. No, of course the best Monkey Island, Escape from Monkey Island. Yeah, I have that. I have actually all Monkey Island titles. Because I love them. And yes, even the fricked one. It is actually the worst. It is, but it's still funny. It is the one that I played the most because it took me the longest time to finish. Oh, this freaking swamp. This freaking swamp of time. Oh! The controls are awful. Yeah. They are awful, but it's doable. If you understand how they work. Also, in Escape from Monkey Island, you can soft lock yourself. It is hard to do, but it's possible. You can soft lock yourself from finishing the game. So yeah, it's not good. So what else do we have here? Lots of games that I got for whatever reason. This here is something that I got for stream. I didn't got the moment yet to actually play it. Then of course here dog walk. Yeah. This here I also wanted to try on stream but never did. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, and yes, I have a lot of the games installed. RPG Maker. Let's make a game. Wait. Blah. I tried to make a game once. Like, seriously, I actually tried. Gothic 1, 2, 3 playthrough. 1 would be 1 and 2 would be painful to play, but doable. 3 would be required to install a lot of mods. Because otherwise this entire thing is simply crashing permanently. Oh, and of course, don't forget. Don't forget. I actually finished that one. I actually finished this and all 3 Gothic parts. I finished them all. You prefer Risen? Okay. Which one? Which one? Oh no. All 3 are better than Arcania? Yeah. I think Arcania is not as bad as people make it, but it's very linear. Has not much in terms of good story. I think the gameplay is alright, but that's about it. Of course, I also have this here. No, but yeah. It is a sad story, let's say it like this. No, I have so many games. Alex and Alex2 are fine. They're just messed up their release dates twice. Yes. I have to admit, Piranha Bytes also messed up a lot with their reviews. They kept on going with some bad decisions. Let's say it like this. They made some bad decisions, and the result is sadly that they went out of business. Wasn't Alex 2 released when Elden Ring DLC was released? Yes. Basically 2 days. No, 5 days apart. So yeah. Alex 2 came 5 days before the Elden Ring DLC. Yeah. And I think Alex 1... 17 October 17. What came? Oh, come on. Game releases in October 17. Assassin's Creed Origins, Destiny 2, Forza 7, Gran Turismo, Middle-earth, Shadow of War, South Park, The Fractured But Whole, The Evil Within 2, Mario Odyssey. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, bad release date. Really bad release date. Well, there's anything from software released. Yeah, the thing is, Alex 1 came out on the same day as South Park, The Fractured But Whole. And also, just a few days before Middle-earth Shadow of War. Which were both massive games. Massive RPG games. Which basically outcompeted Alex by a mile. Both of them. So, again, a bad release date, I would say. They have had a tendency for that, I feel. Chosen better days to release these games. Yeah. I mean, they're good games, but sadly simply drowned in the amount of bullshit. Oh my god. Oh no, the 23 hours. All spent in DayZ, I have to say. Boah. Borderlands, Call of Duty. 130 hours. Another 60 hours. I spent a little bit of time. In Counter-Strike. Not much compared to others, but still. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is also sad that this simply died. Yeah. When this came out, I was like, "Boah, that's cool." And then, yeah. It ended up being a big disappointment. Oh. Ooh. Nearly 300 as well. Absolute ridiculous. So, survival games. Survival and Simulator. I don't know why I put them together. I think because I have so few of them. Few. Still a few. up few. Yeah, the funny thing is that I have a lot of games that I didn't even start yet. Yeah, of course, my number one. My number one on Steam. Not overall, only on Steam. Yeah, I have so many games. And I started the stream with ranting about Creative Assembly and Total War games. I want to mention why. I have a few of them. I have a few of the Total War games. Just a few. Also one of my all-time favorites, Spellforce. Spellforce, in my opinion, one of the better games that simply died down, sadly. I love the series. Especially the first one. I love this thing. Foxy, did you know that Spellforce was actually how I imagined the sim that we play? The story that was there. If I would have written the story, it would have basically been more like Spellforce. Sadly, it never came to be. But yeah, it's I love this game. It is old school, yeah. It looks like, yeah. What do I have to say? Yeah, you see the screenshots. Like, yeah, it is old. But honestly, it's one of the. It has a really cool game mechanics. And the sole male protagonist without a name and being very manly is also quite outdated in terms of Helix. Yeah, true. Spellforce is great, yes. Spellforce 1, I never finished it as a child. I finished it when I got it on Steam. I have the CD here in my shelf. I never got past the first few missions. I ended up finishing it here, 125 hours. You see it? The story is insane to me. The world building is great. The interaction between the different factions is also cool. The complete mechanic with the runes. Yeah, the warrior of the rune. The rune warriors. It's yeah. Spellforce 2 still has a good story, but it's really hard going after Warcraft 3. They really tried to be a more standard RTS, which I think hurt them, but it's still a good game. And then, of course, you have freaking Spellforce 3. Spellforce 3 is strange. It is, if you get into it, it's good. Because you outcompete the AI really easily. At least if you play on normal difficulty. If you play on Nightmare, oh holy. I tried it. I tried it a few times. I tried playing this game against the AI on Nightmare, and holy hell. This is basically, they don't just have sheets, they straight up spawn armies out of thin air. I have no idea what they do. It hurts. Also something that I will likely play a lot soon is Age of Wonders again. I didn't play it as much as I want to, but the Age of Wonders plan, Thrones of Blood. Like, seriously? Vampire Lords? Hello? Please? And it's basically my birthday. One day before my birthday. Come on. This is a birthday gift. You can't convince me otherwise. So yeah, it's like... I have a lot here. And I also have a lot installed. If I go only the installed ones, like, look at this shit. These are only the installed games. Like, I have continuously too much to play. Oh no. Yeah, but in all seriousness, I also wanted to try out Night Kings. I have it, but I didn't start it yet. Will definitely be on the list of things that I want to play. And I really hope they fix Warhammer 3 soon. Ooh! An update on recruitment issues. Wait a minute. I have to read this really quick. I care too much about this game to not to read this. A hotfix is in development. Currently, its singular focus is campaign AI, unit cap recruitment fixes, and the bad AI behavior that stems from the issue. That the AI freezes. Yes. Over the last few weeks, when responding to questions and topic, we had originally planned to publish the fix as part of 7.0 and the DLC release, which comes in like 2 months. Now that the investigation has been complete and we are almost there with a fix, that makes sense to decouple from the 7.0 update as quickly as we can. Blah blah blah. The issues with the campaign AI are unfortunately complex to resolve. We haven't been able to deliver an immediate fix as we needed to conduct some very thought-out investigations into the root causes. So with other words, they had to look through the entire code and figure out what the hell is even going on. Yeah, okay. I'm a League of Legends player. I'm aware of bad coding in games. Oh no. Okay, so when will this come out? Aims to address the problem. Armies in the Isle, behavior, recruitment, blah blah blah. We have found that the AI was building lists of units to recruit without taking caps into consideration, resulting in recruitment failing to occur and stalling the AI decision-making process, causing the AI to freeze completely in the campaign. What? How are you doing this even? I'm not a coder, but that doesn't sound like something you make that simply happens out of nowhere. So, okay. Oh, it's Freeman! Head of community. That's the guy who actually responded, like yesterday, in a separate Total War forum that is not, that belongs from the fans, for the fans of the franchise. He responded there after hours, after he already went out from work in his free time. He responded there and was spreading like information to the community, which is hilarious because that's not how you communicate with your community. And now he is back. Okay, wait. So when will this happen? Is there something about a release date? Yeah, okay, explanation. As it stands today, there are around 200 different pooled resources in the game, and they are used in large variety of ways. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, technical designer, it's fine. When will this happen? Yeah, it's fine. Apology. The active across the different community spaces help to keep the information about the progress as we move towards the release of hotfix Okay, they don't give us a release date, but it will likely be in the next few days. God damn! I want to play my game again! At least they do something. At least they don't let us wait months to the next DLC to fix this. Foxy, in case you don't know, and everyone else who doesn't know, Total War Warhammer 3 is one of my favorite games. And at the moment there's a bug that simply prevents the AI from working. They simply spawn and stop acting. Like from at least 10 different major factions in the game. They simply, you can attack them, they don't do anything. They don't move, they don't recruit. They are simply not there at all. Other factions have it that they recruit and play until a certain point and then freeze in place and don't do anything anymore. And this is a game that gets played by daily 30,000 people of the community. It is their mainline game. And this bug is there for months. And since the last update, it's not just that they freeze at that certain point, they freeze from the very beginning and don't do anything. So basically half of the roster of playable factions is not playing if controlled by the AI. And the problem is, the way that works, if you have different main characters for different factions of, again, different races. So you have the lizard men, the high elves, the dark elves, the humans, different humans, you have the orcs. And you can, if you have one main character, you can confederate the other main characters if they are still alive. But since they are not working, they get killed off and you can't get them. And this goes even further, that the other factions around them that were supposed to be balanced to fight with these specific factions to not get too strong have no enemy, followed by snowballing out of proportions, killing other factions as well that are properly working and have to fight properly. And so you have basically a massive enemy in front of you, each and every campaign the same one, who is simply way too strong. And this is in the game for a long time. And with the latest patches they made it worse. And they were not even aware of it. Until the community went full-blown mad. If you go onto the store site in Steam, it went from mostly positive to mostly negative in a matter of 3 days. In 3 days. It went completely crazy. The community is very freaking mad. Let's say it like this. And yeah, seemingly they decided. The problem is not even that this happens. It's also not that they have to figure out stuff first. This is normal, yeah? You can't think like, okay, they reworked something, it bugged out and made something unplayable. You can't expect them to figure out in light speed what the hell went wrong, yeah? It's normal. It's fine that they need a moment. The problem is the communication, which is simply not there. If the community wouldn't have gone full rampage mode, going into the customer reviews, pushing them all the way to mostly negative, spamming their entire Twitter on all channels, spamming every single forum, spamming every single Reddit that has anything to do with Total War. If they wouldn't have gone full ham on this, without actually insulting or threatening anything, just spamming, hey, it's a nice game, if you would fix the AI. Wow, what a nice advertisement for your game. If you just could fix your AI. I would really like to buy this game, but your AI is broken. Like, constantly, everywhere, on all channels. And that, only this, made them actually respond. Like, what is this? And how can it happen that this needs to happen each and every single time something goes wrong? Every time something breaks in the game, the community needs to make a massive outcry to get any form of response from the staff. Creative Assembly is such a shitfest. I love their games, but it's such a shitfest. It's not even the devs, really. It is more simply the higher-ups who are completely mismanaging everything. I mean, alone the fact that they have the tendency of making a game. The game is buggy. The game fails. They abandon the game without fixing it. Going next. Rinse and repeat until one hits. In this case, they had... They had Total War Troy. Failure. They had Total War Pharaoh. Failure. Thrones of Britannia. Failure. Total War Three Kingdoms. Massive game. People loved it. But it was buggy as hell and unplayable at one point. And instead of fixing it, since people like it, they abandoned it. And currently the community is very scared that they do the same thing with Warhammer 3. Which is the reason why they go so after this. Yeah. This is the main reason why the people are so after the fixes and so on simply pushing until they respond. Because they don't want this one also abandoned. It is hilarious. I remember Rome 2 and Attila were both unplayable for years. Until, I think, when was the last update? 23. Rome 2 came out in 2013. Until 23, it was basically unplayable. For 10 years, they simply left it abandoned. Then for the 10 years anniversary, they actually fixed the game! And you can play it now properly without its perma-crashing. Like, what is this game company doing? Oh, it's so bad. It's sad. And I love the games, sadly. I love the games because there's no alternative. There are some that try to recreate partly something like this, but no one so far managed to capture the same feeling that a Total War game has. Which is sad. I would like to see competitions so they are kind of forced to actually do something right. But hey, imagine this is always the case. It's always the case, over and over again. Oh wait, where did we see this again? Oh right, freaking Pokemon! Imagine they had proper competition, so they are forced to make actual good games. Oh my god, no. Who would ever do such a thing? The poor Nintendo. The poor Nintendo. Forced to make proper games, imagine. I mean, didn't Sega with the latest Sonic racing game actually produce a better racing game than Mario Kart? I think everyone that I saw so far said the Sonic racing game is better. For the first time ever. I saw a meme like, wait, I did it? He did it? Wait, he did it? He made a better game than freaking Nintendo? No, I saw it actually. I saw actual gameplay and it looked better. Which is hilarious. But that's simply like if the companies get too big and too lazy and don't have competition, then only bullshit comes out. That's our tendency with each and every single one of them. It's sad. It's really sad. Who would have known that the golden age of gaming, we already had it? Who would have known? Who would have known? I certainly don't. So yeah, good. Then I would say, honestly, return to Monkey Island and 7 Max. I think we have the games for the next few streams. I will buy the last 7 Max one as well. Wait, which one was it again? How was it called? Something with theater. Wait, The Devil's Playhouse. Yes, The Devil's Playhouse. I will buy that. And then we play all episodes of freaking 7 Max. Oh yes. I have to say, I tried to let's play it once. Back then, with my German YouTube channel, that I tried to have like 14 years ago. 14 fucking years ago, I tried to let's play it. It didn't work out. Because I don't know, I was not as active. I was not as talk active as I am now. So it was also, I think, with actual audience instead of just a recording, this becomes way better. Wait, I write this down, honestly. I write this down. Sam Max. Sam and Max. Why do I have to think about freaking Goofy? What the hell? Anyway. Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is going on? Are you doing anything interesting right now? Just asking for a friend. Just asking out of interest. Because I like to hear from others. Yes. Speaking of bad developers, or devs that kinda lost it. I mean, I showed that I have over 1,000 hours in freaking Crusader Kings. Paradox Games has the same issue as freaking Creative Assembly. Paradox Games, I don't know what they're thinking. They make good games, and then very bad and money-hungry DLCs. Game-breaking DLCs. DLCs that are simply so freaking bad that you question their ability to think and make decision-making. I don't know what this is. I don't know why. Why is this constantly the case? I love the games. I have a lot of hours there. I mean, even Stellaris, I have 160 hours. Like, imagine 160 hours for a single game. That's still a lot, even if it's baby numbers compared to other people. Then, if they come to me with, and you call yourself gamer, 160 hours in Stellaris, that is nothing. Yeah, I survived for, what is it now, 15 years? 14 years? League of Legends. Permanent playing, multiple 1,000 hours without tilting to the moon and back. Top this. Top this. You don't want to. I tell you right now, you don't want to top this. Oh no. Speaking of League, have you seen that Riot Games made pay to win in TFT? Which is hilarious to me. I hope this doesn't translate over to the other games. It would be really suck That would suck really, because it's like, yes, they are not the best coders and balancing is oof and all that stuff. They have strange practices sometimes in terms of money, but I think one thing was always true. It's they have never gone into pay to win. And seeing it happening for the first time in TFT is... I don't want this. Please. That is not good. That is not good at all. I really hope that was just a oopsie. Yeah. Ah, yes, yes. Oh, fuck, I'm getting EP. I noticed that I didn't sleep well. Freaking sick. Being sick is shitty. Believe me, it's really not that good. It's not good. I mean, obviously, being sick is not good. Who do I tell this? Where's the doctor if you need them? Oh, what? I wish I had a saw right now. A little saw blade. Let's see who the doctor really is. I said it before. I planned to make one for this costume, but yeah, it sadly didn't become one. Still, guys, I would say I wrote down Salmon Mix for Thursday. Thursday, Friday, we will most likely spend completely playing Salmon Mix. Maybe Sunday as well, I'm not sure. Depends how long we need to finish them. But I would leave it for today at just yapping. In all honesty, I'm not feeling too well. I still lost myself in talking. That's something that will likely never change, no matter how bad I feel. But I would actively call it a day for now. I hope you're not mad that we didn't play anything. I hope you can forgive me for this one. I will certainly get some rest. That will be really required. I want to be fit again. I want to be able to stream long and game for hours without end. Also, I have to finally have the energy to defeat this freaking monster, this Final Fantasy machine, Planetus, Omega bullshit in Monster Hunter. That will require a lot of attention span for me. Oh no. Everyone, thank you for listening to my yapping. Thank you. I hope you have a good week, everyone. Stay healthy. Not like me. Stay healthy. Or you get you. I know what you do. I know what you do. Or if you are not staying healthy, you stay in bed. Okay? Speaking of bed, I think that's a good call. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for being here and dealing with me. Bye bye.